There are places on Earth that feel familiar, where mountains, rivers and forests settle comfortably into our expectations. And then there are places that make your stomach tighten the moment you step foot there, places that feel alien, places where the ground beneath your feet and the sky above your head refuse to behave the way you expect. These are locations that do not simply look unusual, but locations that make you question reality, places that make your mind wonder if the planet we think we know is only half of what exists. Some feel like they belong on a distant world, shaped by forces we cannot fully comprehend. And yet, despite their alien appearance, they are undeniably real. Tonight we are traveling to locations on Earth that feel like another planet, places where landscapes, colors and light behave as if gravity, time and life have chosen to follow a different set of rules, and the further we go, the more the familiar world begins to fade, leaving only the extraordinary and the unsettling in its place. In southwestern Bolivia lies Salar de Uyuni, the largest salt flat on the planet, stretching endlessly in every direction, flat enough to make the horizon vanish entirely. After a rain, the surface transforms into a mirror so perfect it reflects the sky with such clarity that standing on it feels like walking between two heavens. There are no edges, no points of reference, and no way to tell where the earth ends and the sky begins. People who visit often lose their sense of scale, finding themselves unable to perceive depth or distance, their bodies and minds instinctively searching for something solid to hold on to. It is a place that feels like a dream suspended in reality, a location that, really forces you to confront the strangeness of perception itself. And honestly, the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to remember that you are still on Earth. Iceland's volcanic landscape seems sculpted by the imagination of a science fiction writer, rather than by natural forces. Vast plains of black lava stretch endlessly, punctuated by jagged peaks, steaming vents, and, rivers of molten rock that glint like molten metal under the sun. It is as if Iceland is a fragment of another planet, a place where time moves differently and gravity, has its own rules, waiting silently for someone to discover its secrets. Beneath the surface of the Hawaiian Islands lie lava tubes, tunnels carved over centuries by molten rivers that once flowed through the earth like fire veins. Entering these caves is like stepping into a darkened labyrinth that pulses with memory, where walls glisten with minerals, and shadows twist as if they have a life of their own. The caves are not dangerous by design, but the sensation of being completely swallowed by another world makes it impossible to shake the feeling that this is a place never intended for our kind to wander. The cloud forests of Costa Rica are dense, dripping jungles where moss drapes from every branch and mist coils around tree trunks like living ribbons. Sunlight barely penetrates this canopy, and the air feels damp, heavy, and full of secrets. Walking through these forests, the paths twist and curve unpredictably, shadows shift constantly, and every sound, a dripping leaf, a distant bird, the movement of insects, seems amplified and deliberate. The world here feels condensed, compressed, as if the rules of distance and proportion no longer apply. In Chile's Atacama Desert, the landscape is so barren that it feels like Mars itself. White salt flats stretch for miles, interrupted by pools of red and green water, colors created by mineral deposits that shimmer under the sunlight. Cracks in the ground twist like scars, creating patterns that are impossibly geometric yet entirely natural. The desert feels like a living canvas, frozen in a moment of geological experimentation, and the further you go, the more certain you become that the planet has been quietly testing its own imagination here. Antarctica is a continent so vast and so extreme that it is difficult to imagine it belongs to the same planet where cities bustle and forests grow. Towering ice formations rise like frozen cathedrals, deep blue crevices carve the landscape into surreal patterns, and winds whip across the surface with a strength that strips away all familiarity. In Arizona and Utah, a location known simply as the Wave defies comprehension. Layers of stone curve in perfect waves, rippling across the desert floor as if frozen mid-motion, their surfaces smooth, undulating, and impossibly delicate despite being solid rock. The light shifts constantly across these formations, turning the colors from deep reds to golden ambers in seconds, as if the stones themselves are alive, breathing with the sun. Every step feels like a journey across a living landscape, yet nothing moves, except the wind and your shadow. In Papua New Guinea, the dense rainforests hold species of flora that feel like they came from another dimension. Trees twist in impossible directions, flowers bloom in colors that seem exaggerated by memory, and vines coil in patterns that defy geometry. Moving through this jungle, the air is thick with the hum of insects, the distant calls of birds, and the constant drip of water from leaves overhead. Every step feels like a negotiation with a world that exists according to its own rules. A place where gravity and perspective bend subtly, but perceptibly. The Valle de la Luna in Chile's Atacama Desert is an expanse of jagged rock formations, sand dunes, and salt flats that resembles the surface of the moon more than our own planet. Erosion has carved the landscape into surreal ridges and valleys, and the sun sets in such a way that shadows stretch impossibly long across the terrain. And somewhere out there, beyond the cities, forests, deserts, and mountains we recognize, Earth continues to hide fragments of other worlds, waiting for those who dare to seek them, and reminding us with every step that our planet is far stranger than we ever imagined. These locations remind us that Earth is not limited to what is comfortable or recognizable. There are corners of our planet that feel as though they belong to entirely different worlds, landscapes that operate under rules we cannot fully comprehend, and atmospheres that make the familiar feel impossible. Visiting these places is not about adventure in the conventional sense, it is about humility, awe, and a quiet recognition that the planet still contains mysteries far beyond our understanding. Some locations challenge the senses, some challenge the mind, and some challenge the idea that we truly know the ground beneath our feet.